And again, you know, if you're seeing these players and you don't recognize them, or maybe you do, just take a moment, send them some love. They're playing their hearts out right now, trying to punch their tickets. But of course, Fortnite fam, we're ready to hop back into more games. Thank you so much, Sona, for hanging out. We're going for a dip, so let's send it back over to Bala and Shy Wager.
Thank you, Zeke. Those eyebrows always on fleek, and so is NA East as we get into Dubs and Mega, the big titans of the entire server on solos and duos. A nice, varied actually rotation coming in. A ball sticking beside a flintlock pistol like a mother deer and her fawn as these guys.
Hola, hola. Se terminó el directo porque no tengo muchas ganas de jugar. Prefiero transmitir la World Cup, la verdad. Prefiero comentar la World Cup. ¿Se me escucha bien, chavales?
And that flintlock, hey, sometimes you have it and you're like, oh, I don't have any rotation, but it saves the day here as Dubs and Mega make their way towards the zone and almost approaching that top 25. That's not a placement threshold here in duos. It's actually still half of the server alive right now.
It's just really impressive that these guys used these many limited mats, saved the ball, and got in without taking any damage, as it's so hard to do when one player has the ball and the other player doesn't. It takes so much experience. Speaking of experience, knowing the proper sight lines and the proper builds to shoot as well is huge, as Dubs is going to be calling the shots on who to shoot at the moment. Dubs looking at boxes beside him as well that are just completing. A lot of chaos going on around him as well. A blue tack shotgun available, so he gets multiple shots in close range. It actually does out DPS the combat if you are in that box-to-box moment, and that's what he's going to be looking for, doing his patented wall replacing. It is the box fight meta. And we'll see if Mega can play that meta as well, as one duo holds while the other one pushes. Flintlocks coming in that tack. Double tapped. Ghoul goes down, now representing his name as a ghost.
Claro, porque no estoy hablando.
We'll see what else these duels can do as we look at a huge aerial shot.
Ojo, se está petando,
on this mountain.
Face Mega y Face Dubs. El Face Dubs es bueno, chavales. Yo solo digo eso. El Face Dubs es bueno. Infierno, no se te escucha. Sí se me escucha, Javi, solo que no estaba hablando. Porque también está la World Cup. Porque se terminó el anterior directo, porque no tenía muchas ganas de jugar y he preferido hacer esto. La verdad que nunca lo he hecho y es un contenido bastante bueno, la verdad. Que sí, Javi, pesado, que me da igual, que te calles ya. Pesado, hermano, eres lo más pesado que he visto nunca. Joder.
When players are playing your first five, the mentality is very different. You have some momentum, but as you move around in those leaderboards, those last 5 games, people start getting more serious. People start throwing games. Speaking about throwing things, all these bodies getting thrown.
Si se escucha ya, es que el Javi es tonto, hermano. Es que ahora, mira, Javi, ya está.
Looks like no one's really moving that late. Rote is left behind with Zeshi as well.
And I'm already seeing the top 3 players or duos up on the leaderboard, Vivid and 72, and we saw Keys and Slacks as well down below them. Looks like Vivid is in a clutch situation right now as his teammate is already down.
Pesado, loco.
Trying to find the player on the zip line. He heard it coming. Started to put his attention immediately on it as he tunnels forward. Again, we talk about it every single time.
Liquid Vivid. Ojo, 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 que se hace tortugas.
Look for those gatekeeping shots as he sees. He opens it up, gets the stairs in the attic.
Qué bueno es, tío, el Liquid Vivid, hermano. Qué bueno es.
Speed to realize that was going to happen from Vivid, taking an opportunity to find that elimination.
Divine on the low ground, now being dropped down to the underworld as Vivid starts to make his way up. 72 has been eliminated, so it's all him. Only 10 mats though, so it's just him and a Dream at the moment. Now has to barrage through enemy builds with his pickaxe. Has an edit though. The last mat that was his in that box. The dynamic zipline play coming in as he does gain a
37 puntos que lleva,
even higher. Balls flying all around him in the map as well. H-tag going down. Can he get the mats from that elimination? Yes, he can. 20 metal only though, as he still has to rely on his trusty pickaxe, denying a player height on that layer as well. He does have 1 launch pad and 1 mat left. Tickers all the way up top with Hornet, who has qualified in solos as well. We'll see if he can replicate that with his dual partner as well. Kutorba dropping down a layer. We'll see if Vivid can find a way up.
Vivid doing crazy things right now. Fortunately, the zone did go back in his favor, so he doesn't have to spend too many materials as it's going downhill and he uses the one piece of metal to block
Son
that
todos
shot.
muy
And now
otakus
he's
aquí,
looking
gente.
for more. He's looking to refresh. He needs to find something, possibly both of these eliminations in the storm. Yes, this is going to be the match that he needs to refresh. Not even much, though. Every single time he finds an elimination, there's not much at all. The edit coming through, is he going to finish it off? Yes, but does he get the match?
Demasiado
Not
otakus.
really. Not really just yet, but taking the time, going back, still only 10
Gente,
builds,
¿podéis
really
compartir
15
el directito
builds
o
here.
no? Es que nunca lo
Can you
compartís,
really
tío.
do this right
Es lo que
here?
me da
No
más rabia.
matching all the way back when, clutching up, now into the top 5. He
Es
is
lo que me
doing
da más rabia, gente.
The big thing about getting these low ground eliminations is that everyone else is also in shambles. The big wall.
Ya ves, la gente como que no tiene vida social.
Nice knowledge about where your materials are and where the angles are to get in. Has 2 heavy snipers available as well, so he takes
Este pavo lleva 6 kills en la World Cup. ¿Sabes lo que es eso? Míralo, demasiado otaku. Pero está muerto ya. Ha muerto ya el Vivid ese. Ha muerto el Vivid, gente. Ha ganado este con una kill, para que veáis qué injusto es este juego. El Vivid ya se llevaba 7 kills y no lo ha ganado, tío. Si se lo merecía más ese. La verdad. Con una kill ganó, ya ves.
It's always that 1 or 2 pop-off game, and it's always also about staying
6 kills me hago yo en 6 días. Mira, el E11, Daxor S y el Grafka son buenos, porque el team de E11 son buenos, chavales.
Nice dodges from Gasha there, though. We'll see if he can move forward. Has a lot of mats available for the moment. 3 elims amongst him and his dual partner Daxter, both representing E11 Gaming.
Yo me hago 6 kills en cada partida, esto easy.
Flintlock and redeploy combo, I think, is one of the most dynamic
Too
combos
easy.
in the game, as you don't have to pull out anything if you fall off from height. It's very easy to kind of manipulate where you want to be exactly.
La que se lía en la World Cup,
items. Granted, though, they do take 2 slots.
But I mean, 2 slots, and we've seen the use of it. Actually, I don't
Yo
know
ni
if we've
conozco
seen
el Team
it on
11,
broadcast
sí,
yet, but
el
there's
de
starting to be a
Stompy,
lot
bro.
of innovative uses with
Se ha
the point out
clasificado
and
un
redeploy
montón de
actually
veces.
go faster, even
Se ha clasificado para la World Cup en solo y en dúos, o sea, imagínate.
shoot that Flintlock, it pushes you with the momentum.
El clan de
Using that
E11.
glider redeploy to just carry you forward.
The biggest thing about it, too, is that you can choose when to stop and take your shots as well. We see a lot of stuff happening on low as right now as well. We have Pika on the server as well.
What is this? Is West just migrating to East? What is going on? Why are you here, Pika,
Maybe
on East?
the timings of West, they thought, hey, we should get into games now. And they
Henry, ¿puedes compartir por el grupo de Discord, porfa? Por el grupo de Discord, loco. Puedes compartir por ahí, que tengo el móvil roto y yo no lo puedo hacer.
I mean, we've seen
Please.
in the past Psalm,
Si puedes hacerlo, se agradecería un montonazo, bro.
First week he actually moved over to East, making sure that he gives himself the most opportunities, the most spots, and he qualified first try. He's actually even East still with his partner symmetrical this week. So Pika taking,
a ver quién gana esta, ¿no?
Note from Psalm.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, though, this is not the first chance. This is the last chance. It's week 10, so everyone's pulling out all the tricks from the bag.
A este pavo le va petado de FPS. Le va bastante petado y se nota. Míralo, que le han quitado todo el escudo y llevaba sombra. Ya lo compartí por Discord. Grande, bro, gracias. Gracias, loco. Esta gente es demasiado buena.
This is just those micro decisions these players make at the last second of these shots to get that elimination when they move across the map as well. They're going to be on rotation now. We'll see when they box up and go back.
Assault getting beamed from the back, not realizing there was a play.
Pero los de Discord menos yo, son inactivos.
Got to talk about it. We said pulling out all the stops. Assault and Innocence right here. They're sticking to the tried and true, the one baller strat. We've seen them do this, even dual baller all the way through. From the beginning, but they just got ripped in. That baller is gone now, and they have to dive. No, Innocence is still down there, actually. I misspoke. There's so many players in the sky right now, but still. So I think he still has that baller. I think it could still last a lot, but look at his HP
LOL,
right
¿cuánta
now,
gente hay ahí, tú?
just yet. Where did
Madre,
Assault
Symphony.
land nearby?
Está ahí Symphony, gente. ¿Sabéis qué bueno es ese pavo, tú? El Symphony. Pero ¿por qué no usa la rotación? Ahí. LOL.
Everything these players are doing when it comes to smokes, there's no safety available. Everyone's on their best behavior. They know all the stops they can pull to get this pressure down. Assault's now getting dynamic with it. Might not move the same way to get that shadow off. It might affect him on the amount of distance he can move, but he still has...
A veces hace como que se buguea el personaje, pero en verdad no, ¿vale? Por si lo veis alguna vez que se buguea.
Just like she's in a greater, we'll see if he can keep it yummy though. Assault on 41 HP, needs some more food, needs some more eliminations to get that siphon off and get him back up to 100. Sees that storm.
Míralo, este pavo se la ha sacado, ¿eh? Ahí se la ha sacado y tiene 280 de mats. O sea que vamos, que va bien. Entre comillas va bien. Míralo, míralo. Se lo ha vuelto a sacar ahí. Se muere por zona, el pavo. Ha cogido medkit. Pero el medkit no se lo va a poder echar. Ha pillado materiales, GG. Muy bien, muy bien.
Players total, 7 duos still remaining in this game, and it's final zone. It is time. 1 minute left in the game.
People are going to be playing super smart.
LOL, se ha salvado.
Have not even gone out yet. All the points there. Still duels to get knocked down. 8 W keys get sent back to the
en Discord, tío, este pavo es bueno, ¿eh? En Discord no debes tener ni un amigo ni en las otras redes ni en la vida social que ves. ¿Te imaginas? Ser un solitario de la vida. Este chaval es muy bueno, ¿eh? Y tiene muchas posibilidades de ganar. Míralo, míralo. Es bueno, ¿eh? Le quedan 9 personas. LOL. Le digo a Dark Infierno. Ah, vale. LOL, ese pavo se lo ha sacado.
Superman launchpad on the height, still has mats to answer with it as well. Starts taking the ticks of health first, but resets those ticks.
Están diciendo, wow, usa un puto launchpad para pillar high ground y la gana.
And safety switch to stay in the storm and clinch out that game. Huge plays there, 3 eliminations, the victory royale. Creo, you can't do it better, Bella, you can't.
Creo just pulled off one of the most insane clutch launch pads I have ever seen, knowing exactly that Dusty Divot has these, you know, kind of elevation changes. It goes up and then it goes down drastically. He knows there's builds up there. I can get up there and I can out-heal or outlast you as you have to make your way through all of that old fossil. Perfect play there from Creo, and that's why he's qualified in solos, right? So he's trying to do it now, trying to get double qualified and bring
este pavo bueno.
Along with him.
We talk about qualified duos and solos. Sap and Zayt now, who also qualified for duos, are going to be looking at getting some more money and placement as well as
este pavo bueno.
For these top spots for respect and practice as well. Slurp sticking on Sap. He does have a few more. They pick up an elimination. A lot of loot to work with now. Looks like they have excess mats as well. They're in zone. They could big up their base if they wanted to, make it a little bit bigger for more sightlines, or they could stay cool, calm, collected. One cool thing I see from low ground is if you stay a little bit more low key, and then look for some shots where people don't expect it, that's where you can get those big picks.
Mira, NRG es del clan de Mr. Savage y es bueno.
Low ground you usually have 1 or 2 angles, and you can get those pop-off moments there.
So Saf and Zayt, I've been doing a little bit of, I've seen a little bit of on Zayt's Twitter about his strategies going into New York, you know, talking about how he's trying to control his drop spot being loot late. That's going to be one of the most interesting storylines in New York, being the fact that they claim loot late. We know how many duos are already dropping there. We know how many duos are already qualified in New York. So Zayt talking about trying to stop anybody else from being in there, because he already has Sean and Aiden. He already has Mitra, you know, they're trying to claim Tilted, but they could come back to the home the way they qualified.
The mind games from duos saying on Twitter, we might be taking this spot or that spot. The biggest theme for Worlds is going to be clashing of all these storylines. Everyone plays in their region. They know the rules, but that always gets flipped. As Juxta gets flipped as well in the Storm, he goes down. easy Elam points picked up from Sappin's 8.
A ver, mira, ¿ves? El Ghost Saf este es bueno, gente. Y su compañero, que es el del clan de Mr. Savage, lleva 3 kills. Mira, Face Yellow. Secret Fuzzy. Hay gente que yo no conozco, pero que son de Secret y cosas así. Vamos, gente, suscribiros y darle like lo nuevo, va. Dale like y suscribiros, dale canita. Y si podéis compartir el directito, se agradece, máquinas. Hostia, el salto que ha dado, Hostia, este pavo está loco, Están diciendo hasta los comentaristas. Se ponen, it is crazy, o algo así. O he is crazy. Yo no entiendo mucho inglés, pero algo sé. Algo sé, gente. Está loco. Esa grieta se podría haber apurado un poco más, Quedan 35 personas, qué locura. Toma. La que le ha pegado. Nada, le va a petar este pavo de FPS. Queda mucha gente, loco. Mira de eso, gente. Madre mía.
The Chug Splash is one thing you can always bait and switch with. We saw that high ground PG fight about to happen, but instantaneously that heal off came in. We'll see what these duels can do with the utility they have. Brispy going for a nice utility play as his trap gives him some.
Todos son muy buenos aquí, tío. Son todos buenísimos, loco.
Because these guys have to move for the storm. Sometimes you can get those high priority elims down, but you won't be able to get everything out of them except for just the points, and it might make it so that you fall behind on tempo for the rest of the game, moving on positions.
Speaking of tempo, I love how Sherry here is not, full topping all the way through, but what he is doing.
Chavales, yo me voy a cenar, ¿vale? Me voy a cenar, os dejo el directito y me voy, ¿vale? Os dejo viendo esto y yo me piro a cenar, ¿vale? Chao, chao. Yo me piro, os dejo esto.
We'll see Cherry actually moving behind his bills as his duo stays up. This is huge. 6 duos left alive now. 1 more placement point left. We'll see who's allowed to play and who is not going to get any placement points from this point onwards. Hogman on the high ground with Fuzzy, who's trying to wall replace. Once again, this genius type of split on height where one person, one target, so the other one goes and does the dirty work. Fuzzy in a dirty situation, but Hogman cleans it up. Very nice stuff there as they get that elim down. Big points available as well for these duels if they can keep getting these elims over and over again.
And I love how they collapsed directly on that player. As soon as they got both the cone and the floor, that player started full sending on them. They both came down and made sure that they would handle this, but making sure that they're also getting that victory royale. They're slowing down, splitting the materials, knowing exactly where that LX RI duo is going to be, but Fuzzy goes down. It's now all up to Hogman, maybe opening a little bit preemptively there, but it's still top 3 situation. They've earned all the placement points. Hogman's gonna get revenge onto Cherry. There's still 1 more down below, but he has no match. Just fine. The Siphon match right there, that's gonna allow him to stay up just for a little bit longer. Using the Chug Splash, not yet using that slurp, but he sees an opportunity, does get a couple shots. Now it's a 1v1 down on low ground. Hogman can take his time or go full send, get the elimination. Yes, onto Brispy, and then finally onto Lotus. Hogman and Fuzzy take the victory royale with 20 points.
Options, options, options. Hogman just using the proper shots, using the proper heals. Zeke, what do you think about all this, man? How is this stuff getting so insane and more ramped up over and over again?
Knew for a while now that Hogmans and Fuzzy had it, and right then they just put all the pieces together. A massive 20-point game. Let's go.
Fuzzy Wuzzy doesn't care. Fuzzy Wuzzy will take all your points away and qualify for the World Cup. That should have rhymed. I apologize.
Sundown has long hair. There's the rhyme. All right, let's talk about some dope clips that you pulled for us.
Yes, let's take a look at some of the individual efforts that are coming out. I know it's duos week, but right now these guys are putting their partner on their back. First, you can see Vivid, no mats, no partner, no problem. Picks up the first elim, then immediately gets the knock onto a rough. He gets the bare minimum of mats there, a little bit more, 18, and he's able to convert it into more. Gets the immediate pickaxe and then finds out GG's only Rig Earth, not enough there. Frags his way into the top 10, and then he's still going. We hopped on board with him. He was at 2 elims, no mats, no partner. Now all of a sudden, 6 elims, 75 mats, has control of the mid-tarp, gets himself into that top 5 situation, almost single-handedly, brilliantly done from the week 1 qualifier. It was a great effort and another great individual effort out of Assaults here. Drops down, puts the drum gun at mid-range to work, picking up branches, and then gets the upgrade to that legendary combat, and then he's gonna go to town with it. Finds Word Bro on the quick rotation through, and then doesn't let up, still picking people up inside the top 10 and sticking with it. This is how Innocence and Assault have made their plays. They've done it by fragging out and getting the elims, trying to be the only full controller duo. Shout out to Wolfies being the second controller player to make it so far to the Fortnite World Cup for the duos, and Assault just running down the low ground here. And again, this has been all without Innocence. We hopped on board. He was only on the 2 elims. He was able to get 5, 6 now, and then get himself into the top 5 as well. Just a brilliantly done play. And will the individual efforts be enough? Speaking of an individual effort, Creo with the nuts launchpad up onto the high ground, and then watch how he stays in the storm. We talk about every single interaction mattering, sometimes not even the interaction mattering, every single second, and just having 1 more second in the zone. He knows when it goes to full close, he's ready to challenge out. Brilliantly done, trying to get Lazarus a duo spot as well as their solo spot. Let's take a look at the standings so far, and it's Slackies and Keys right now in the top spot, 57 points. The Young Calculator and Macwood just behind them with 56, and then Aroa and NPen currently in 3rd at 55. The spread starting to get there now, 9 points, but again, it is anybody's match, Zeke. It is anybody's tournament, anybody's day. All of these guys have been so close, and this is really a who's who of NA East for competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really big names here. Again, there's only the 3 spots in NA East, so a lot of these guys are going to look to bring their A game heading into these last few matches. I mean, when you look at even Calculator and Macwood, right, they've got the 7 games played. That's a lot with very little margin of error there, so you gotta hope they come up with some really big games. But Fortnite fan, we appreciate, of course, you guys for hanging out with us, sticking around for Fortnite, all the Fortnite action. But for now, we're gonna go to break. I know. Just get up, go get yourself a snack, use the restroom, come back. We'll have more Fortnite action. Don't go too far.
Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with brunch. Red juices, a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Let's fly out to the lobby to get your spots and nums.
What's up, Fortnite fam?
Today, we're going to be playing for $3 million for charity, folks, and it is going to be an incredible time.
50 of your favorite Fortnite personalities will be paired up with 50 celebrities put on this fantastic stage.
It's going to be awesome. It's duos, so we've seen it before at the Pro-Am last year, and it's always a blast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
The first match of the Summer Block Party Pro-Am is beginning right now.
They're putting down pressure. No one's safe now. That's 1 elim right there. Can he get a second? That is going to get followed up because he desperately needs materials. A player behind, 102 to the face. Look at this, he's just waiting for a full send. It's Symphony. He shuts him down. It's a 1v1. Who is the other player that's left? Oh! Here it is. He's going with the X. Oh! aggressive. Look at him go here, just beating down players. No weapons, doesn't even need them. Wants this, look at this. Aiden's just supplying pressure. Oh, tries to go for the high ground. This might have been a mistake. This is Aiden, we're talking about more damage. Bucky's down to nothing. And Aiden, victory royale.
Ball, it doesn't connect with the shot. Marshawn Lynch hits 75 blue.
One great shot connects up, comes up over top. It's a second right there, and the Rifta goes out.
Oh, she's on the run. She's chasing it down.
You're not gonna let this one go away. Oh, no, no, you know you're a solo. No turning back now.
35 wide on that damage there, and Ewok got the target. One build remaining, and that's it. He's gonna land in front of him, and typical gamer. Final game. Typical gamer pops up behind Janina. Oh, the rage. At this point in time, not looking the best when it comes to the... Oh, no!
Final moments, Golden Boy.
This is it right here, the 1v1. It's going to be Aiden going up against Symphony, pushing forward, forcing the activity. Oh! Symphony with the victory royale! Your winner of the second Fortnite Pro-Am is RL Grime and Wow!
I'm a big fan of competitive Fortnite and watching it, so this has been really cool to be involved with.
That was easy, actually.
Easy peasy.
Welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. We are in our last week, and we are knee-deep in the action in NA East. So let's get right back in the action. I mean, we're seeing crazy storylines right now. So many names are fighting for that top of the leaderboard. We just saw Hogman and Fuzzy clutch up big time. We see names like 72 Hours and Vivid, Aspect and Animal. They're all pushing the top of the leaderboard. So let's get right back into it. Gentlemen, I have Sundown and I have Zeke. Guys, take it away.
Boom. The original duo returns again.
You know us, you probably don't like us, but we're ready to get into the matches. NA East is on its way.
yourself.
Week 10 going, I know everybody loves you, but
I was gonna say everyone hates me.
Appreciating humor. The games are ready, let's get into it. The back third of NA East. These are going to be the final, not quite the final match. We've still got a little bit to go. We still got a little bit of leaderboard to work through, but we're getting down to the wire in terms of the spot. Brazil is getting down there as well. We'll have those results when they're final, but only 5 spots left. And the Fortnite World Cup solos are done, and this will be the end of the duos as Bugga gets sent back to lobby right away. No wall replacement going on there, just a straight shot to the grill from Exis and Cease.
Well, you know, this is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But don't forget, guys, those thresholds, all right? Top 15, top 10, top 5 in the victory hour, the placement thresholds. Every elimination is a point. Very simple to remember. We're back in that dual format, and just like Sundown says, this is it. You know, this is the final opportunity for these players to punch their ticket to the finals in New York City. Don't forget, that is July 26th through the 28th. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars. We're going to be hanging out, having a great time, and watching some of the most competitive Fortnite we've ever seen in our entire lives right now. Aroa, Looks like some people are trying to just be up in his airspace. He's not favoring it right now. He sends some shots out. Nothing's quite connected yet, Sundown, but I think it's fun that we're all hanging out with our little slidey feets.
I really, really dislike. So I actually like box fights more when I have ice on my feet, because for some reason I've actually, like, I went back and looked, I win a higher percentage of them. I don't know if it's just because the chaos or it throws my opponents off more, but in terms of rotating and all that, just absolutely dislike it. But Aroa and Npen getting pushed on by Destroy and his partner, Destroy, will end up being converted over, but he's trying to disengage over. He knows Destroy is going to end up being picked up, is going for the revive on Npen right now as RJX pushes in, trying to get over towards his partner, but not going to be able to do it. As Frost and Devious keep putting pressure on him, Baldy-sama is directly above them as well. No shotgun in sight, Zeke.
That's probably why he's not taking this fight. He could easily get in that box, but I mean, if you're going to put an infantry rifle to work in that close range, you're probably not going to hit the shots, especially with a slow, with a shallow magazine there. You probably just don't want to be taking those fights.
Well, it's so close range, it's not horrible, right? 44 to the chest, and then you have the 88 afterward. Oh, like that! He uses it, he pushes it in the box, and he finds it, the back-to-back headshots. Dini gets sent down right away, and now Baldy knows he has that wall. He's trying to find the shot. Can he find it? No, instead, gets ripped up into the sky. He's like, all right, I'll take a free rotation. Would have liked the shotgun, but a rotation will be nice, as you can now check out the backside of the storm. Ricardini, Assassin, FA Mark, Dodo Crunchy, and Orbi all trying to make it over to that launch pad. Diego and Aiden just rotating on the low ground. The SH boys trying to find some room. No utility insight and hurting on Matt so far.
So you know what I've discovered is that I guess these players can just somehow hear me. So every time I say something that doesn't seem plausible, they just say, Zeke, hold my slurp juice. Watch this. So that's why I basically said that. I was like, there's no way. Oh. And, you know, I was wrong. Niddle there picked up, though, and of course he's going to be confirmed there because that's going to keep Aiden alive. That extra siphon going to make the difference.
And then the storm actually moving back over across from him when he's in kind of a tough position from the metal. Will now have to rotate away, but isn't going to be forced out. And with just above 70 effective HP, that's going to be huge. Got to chuck out the stinks to try and get whatever ticks he can. Those players are all super low, and he drops down. He gets Cameron in JG. Can he find the other player? Casker gets ticked over as well. That's one, that's two. He gets the knock there. He needs to find the conversion. Can he find the siphon? He did. 49. He needs to find the zone, though. 1, 2, 3. You can't miss the power point. Oh! The siphon again. That was his knock, which means he gets into the zone. 19 HP. And Jezel TTV takes him down. Give him a follow there, as Psalm and Symmetrical are the only ones up on the high ground. The rest of the lobby is going to have to go up against Old Man Mountain as Aspect begins his climb. So does Exus. Tendons and Nolan's directly behind him as we're closing in on the top 10. Z-Laner picks up Funded, and Nolan actually gets a knock onto Psalm, which I'm assuming is from knocking out the high ground. So I'm not sure anybody's up there. Yep, high ground is now gone. Aspect and Animal own it.
12 players, 8 duos, top 5 is the next threshold. You've got a player down below using that campfire, trying to keep themselves alive right now in Aspect. And you know, his dual partner Animal, like you said, they've got the high ground advantage. This is huge. It depends on where we're going, but look at Animal's HP. Bottom left right now, critical condition. Laner there is going to be picked up, and on 106 over on the dome of that player. Aspect only gets traded out for 38.
He wants to go aggro on him. He knows where that player is, knows he's on the backside. He's looking to find it. How deep did he disengage down? Can I go find it as Symmetrical picks up Bambi for Pyronic, and we're going to have our top 5. So now it's Stony and Crunchy on the low ground. Tendons and Forwards on the tarp beneath. Aspect and Animal on ultimate high. Tendons and Nolan are in your bottom right-hand corner. Aspect and Animal in the top right. You can see all the rest of the action on the left-hand side as Stoney does end up actually forcing down Nolan. Tendons goes to try and challenge, is able to find it, and then Stoney gets knocked as well. But the high ground's going to be the difference as Tendons is doing everything he can to remain in the zone, and he found it, 10 HP, but it's not going to matter. Aspect picks it up. That's the 4 elims plus the victory route. 14 points going over, pushing them up to 53. That's why they were up there on the leaderboard. The favorites coming in after all the warm-ups kind of fell off, but Aspect has been rolling, and they're trying to make it again. This is week 10. Oceania is done. Asia is done. Europe is done. And we're in the back half of NA East. It is time to put up or stay at home. The trips to New York City are on the line, and Bizzle and Dima want to be there together. Of course, Bizzle qualifying in week 1, but he wants to be playing with Demo on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to try and get your dual partner into the finals, right? This is going to be one of the most insane events, I think, ever, right? And if you're Ghost Bizzle, who's already qualified, you're thinking, I've got to try and get my dual partner there. Demo, we've got to make it there. And, you know, they've come close. They haven't put it together yet, but...
I think they came probably about as close as any other guys. I've told the story a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
In, I think it was week 4 or week 6. No, it was week 6. There was one Shadow Bomb rotation when they were in 16th place, where they popped the window and 2 guys were staring at them, just waiting for the door to come out, and they both got lasered, and a half second later, somebody else went down. So that would have been the points. That would have been enough to push them over the top. And that's when we talk about every little moment mattering, every decision sometimes being the difference. That is the prime example. But Virus QT does get picked up, and Bizzle and Demo are going to look to make a case here. Kind of hurting in terms of utility, but positional-wise, not in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, ammo is looking pretty sparse, right? Just a mag and a half in the AR. There are a few rounds with the flintlock, a few slugs there for the combat. Not much of the way to work with. Look on the other side, though. Vivid. He is 2 boxes away. Now, 72 is in critical condition. Take a look and look at this. 5 total bills.
No shields on either of them. Like, they have less than 100 effective HP. They do have a rift, but you don't want to go skyward unless you're going late, and it can guarantee you placements. But you also don't want to be caught out in an awkward rotation here. They can't afford to tarp. You either have to go right away, or it goes super late and just pray nobody looks in your direction, which for somebody, they're sitting on 50 points. Can he find 1, 2, 3? But the 16 isn't going to be enough. They desperately needed it, but now attention is drawn their way. 72 is going over. You see the combat swiveling towards them. It's Lotus directly above, Predator on the backside, and they're going to go late. They're going to go late, and they're going to pop and just hang out and hope nobody looks skyward, because 1 AR bullet will drop 72, 2 will drop Vivid, but right now everyone else is worried about rotating. And there it goes, skyward, and he knows it's white. All of a sudden Vivid goes straight.
Oh my God!
Box, can he find it?
Oh!
Mateos gets dropped. That could be the difference. They have all the mats. They have the mid-tarp. They need to drop down and get more, though. They need the campfire. They need all the resources. You see, on the right, Vivid is down. You have to cover your sides. Vivid is down. 72 has to clutch up, but he's taking ticks. He's over in the storm. You can see him there, dead middle of your screen, and he is down outside of the top 15. But look in the bottom left. Ninja in reverse still up. Bizzle and Demo, Artsy and Midas, Sean, Claude in the middle as well. And hello, Burst SMG. First time I think we've seen that. All cast. Bizzle puts it to work right there.
Every single weapon, every single form of utility, everything in the hands of these players that are playing the top 0.001% will be lethal.
I mean, Bizzle doesn't even need to use weapons sometimes to be successful. We've seen him, you know what, I'll give him a shout out for the memery, but like, in the end, it's really impressive doing that. You don't expose yourself to risk, but the fact that he's still going out and trying to make plays with the impulses and the turrets, like, that's when you know somebody's on another level for the solos competition. But Cartier Cole and Cartier Chris looking skyward, drops everyone, and he turns back. Cool guys don't look at explosions as 1, 2 tick over right there. Really heads up play.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get the materials and ammo, but still, 2 eliminations, 2 points on the board, and pushes them into top 15. You like to see it. The lobby is going to continue thinning out. Now, keep in mind, top 10 is that next placement threshold. That's where their next aim is. You've got someone up in the sky trying to challenge. Germ, I'm so sorry. You have been eliminated.
Hogman goes down, but was inside the top 10, so we got the 5 points. Bizzle and Demo are still up as well on the mid-tarp as shots are raining down from Chris and Cole. They're doing so well. Bizzle and Demo both go down outside the top 5. No more points there for the vaulted duo. And now Janik picks up dimes. We have our top 10 as top 5 as Cherish is inside of it. Reverse and Ninja still on the low ground. Lotus with a great slide around. Reverse with an even more heads-up play. Ninja's in your bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right. Janik and Stowe on the mid-tarp as we have a 2v2v2. RPGs are coming out. Can they catch it? They catch it right away. Player gets dropped down. Ninja reverse makes quick work of him, but then Ninja catches the rocket right on his face. Can he find some time? Watch Ninja in the bottom right. Cartier Cole in your top right now. You can see Reverse trying to get an angle to support him. Cole has got the RPG reloaded, begins to work top down. Ninja continuing to tarp himself out. Did have enough room.
No.
Reverse went to the sky. Are they going to look up while Ninja tries to get them distracted. Now they're looking downward as Ninja is distracting him. This is the split from reverse. Gets blasted out of the sky. Interesting call is reverse. Now gets dropped to Ninja. Make the play. The clutch is on him. Gets cracked back 17 HP, but now he has the high ground with shadows. Needs to pop minis if he can get the room. A siphon would be huge, and it's not going to happen. Chris and Cole shut down Reverse and Ninja. 8 elims in the victory royale, pushing them up to 45 points.
Man, that was, you know, I respect the play for sure, but hindsight is 20/20. That's all I'm going to say about that. Next game, here we go. You got E11 Heart there in the center screen, 33 players, 19 duos remain. So we're pushing the very stretches here of the lobbies. You know, more often in finals day, we've seen dense lobbies, upwards of 50 people, upwards of 30 duos remaining, and that is not the case because today is the difference. Today is your opportunity to qualify for finals in New York City, and that's all these players have worked for. 10 weeks, they put it all on the line, giving everything they've had, and they're looking to make the difference today.
As B-Hex gets some great shots out there, B-Hex being known as one of the players who actually played across region a ton pre-World Cup when that was allowed, and he won money over in Europe actually multiple times. Just a really good kind of high execution style player. First time I've seen him with Heart, so really interested, but they're up at 51 points. Like, they're challenging and they're within striking distance. And also, like, I want to give a huge shout out right now to all of the players who played and competed. Thank you so much from like the bottom of my heart, being able to cast this, analyze this, work on this show, watch you guys develop and continue to grow and do such cool, awesome gameplay stuff and continuing to push the limits of Fortnite and grinding it out, whether it's the practice or every single one of these tournament windows, playing through holidays, getting the support of your family and your friends and pouring all of your heart and soul into this. It means genuinely the world to me, and it is so much fun to watch you guys just push this game to its very limits. So thank you for making our job just so awesome and so easy as we're into the final moments of NA East. Less than 45 minutes on these queues. Again, you get 3 hours or 10 matches, whichever comes first, and then you are done. So 40 minutes left to queue, and then the World Cup experience is over for those in the East.
That's right, and the next step would be the World Cup Finals. But here we go, man. Hopping in, you see Keys and Slacks. Looks like the HP is okay, but let's take a look at that loadout. It's looking pretty good. I'd be curious to see what Keys has, because Slacks is pretty stacked. Like, obviously, if he had like 3 more Shadow Bombs, an extra 2 rifts, or an extra rift, excuse me, to have 2, that'd be great. But even Keys' loadout's not bad either.
Yeah, lots of rotation. They're going to look to play safe here. They see everyone around them rifting over. The pressure plant rotation is not necessarily a fun one. And I know there's also kind of a general, I want to say conspiracy theory, where the circles are forced to go over mountains or changes in verticality. I can 100% confirm that is not true. The way the kind of like the storm works, there's a minimum and maximum distance for how far it can move from the current circle, and that's it. There's no like predetermined path or all that, so I will just absolutely eliminate that conspiracy theory. But now Slacks is trying to eliminate his opponent in the box. Hello? Ezra gets added in, and the fact is they're wearing the exact same skin as well, and so is the other duo. Might have been a moment of confusion there. That's what can happen, but a brilliant pickup from Slacks and Keys, who are trying to make their push for qualification. That elim gets them into the top 15 as well. 8 elims, 11 points so far from this match, and Keys is looking to do everything they can. We've seen them, Zeke. They're at the top. Can they keep it up?
Just having the same skin is probably what made the difference, because you saw the player for a moment react and maybe take a shot, and they were like, oh,
okay.
The vertical ceiling trap is so good because the stair got put in the
Ya estoy aquí, chavales. Ya estoy aquí. Hola, hola, Juan Antonio, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal, tío? Estaba cenando. Y os he dejado esto. ¿Qué tal, qué tal? ¿Estáis a todo? ¿Qué tal estáis? La cuenta de Fátima es de mi madre, gente. Estaba con el móvil de mi madre cenando. ¿Qué pasa, TSM Down? Todo bien, todo bien. Muchas gracias por pasarte, bro. Si podéis dejar un likeazo, se agradece, máquinas.
completely uncontested. So the guys you want to keep your eyes on right now are BHEGs and then Slacks and Keys. They're the ones who are trying to make a push for qualification. What happens to them is what matters here. All the rest of the players playing for their shot at the prize money, but those duos are in contention for a World Cup spot. BHEGs picks up Snappy on the high ground. Jaw is able to get Stainless, and Cross is trying to find some side.
Hostia, tú.
Gets picked up as well. The top 5 is going
Qué
to be
bueno
here.
es el pavo
That
este.
comes through because of the stink, and we get close to that top 5.
There it is. Top 5 has been achieved. Now look at this. We are moving. There's only a single duo left in this lobby. Everyone else is a solo rider. Another person has been eliminated. Look at this. Cross is just trying to cross up these players, finding the elimination.
El Cross este no para de matar a gente, loco.
Slacks and Keys were the last duo, but Keys is now knocked into straight solos competition from here.
No para de matar a gente, tú.
HP, though. He can top back up to 100 shield, but his HP is going to make the difference. You see HK down below. He immediately gets picked up. Again, like Sundown talked about, Begs and Slacks. These are the 2 players to keep your eyes on, and that is they are 2 of the 3 players left. Cross is the meat in this sandwich right now. He does not want to be here. Begs has all of the HP advantage in the world. And now look at this. Cross, he knows Slacks is close. He doesn't know how much HP he's on. He knows Beggs is up top, keeping him pinned down. And look at Slacks is trying to close
Slacks
it out.
has no mats. Slacks has absolutely no mats. Watch how he's walking around. He has nothing. He's just running through the open. BHEGs just lasered him right there. Cross needs to get the edit on him, and he does. Cross will pick that up. BHEGs should be able to close this out because Cross is on no mats now. BHEGs needs to get it, and he does. Gets the E-Lib, gets the victory royale. 65 points.
Ha ganado Begs con 65 puntos. GG. ¿Qué pasa, Javi? ¿Qué pasa, loco? ¿Qué pasa, Javier Extreme? TL72. Este pavo es bueno, tú. Este pavo es bueno que yo me acuerdo. Es buenísimo este pavo, tú. O sea, fuera coña, es el pavo más bueno que he visto nunca, tío. A ver, igual exagerado, pero es bueno, ¿eh? El pavo ese es bueno.
The effective play space is going to get very funky very, very quickly. You can see, if you're looking in the bottom right, there's already some of that blue area. Remember, that's the edge of the mountain. So that space, you could build off the side of the mountain, but you don't want to be doing that.
When in doubt, throw a grenade.
Hacerme caso que el pavo ese controla. Se ha hecho un dúo este, tipo, como si nada.
Can they loot Goblin? Can they get all of that? Because they saw other splodes go to it. Bizzle had been pouring in splodes. They want to get all of this because this is 3 teams worth of loot on the side of the zone. They have literally can open a whole anything. Like everything is wholesale. You want medkits, you want shields, you want ammo, you want mats. The Liquid Boys got it right now.
This is going to just like absolutely increase.
Loco, todos estos son buenos, tú.
Their loadout is looking so good.
Todos estos pavos son buenos.
All the upgrades. You've got a combat shotgun right there sitting outside.
¿Qué pasa, Macuse, loco? ¿Qué tal?
They're both already rocking them. Like you can tell, they was like people complain about. Come on, you got combats laying everywhere. These guys are leaving. What do you mean?
¿Qué pasa, loco?
I'm just kidding. Come on, guys.
That was a good one. That was good. I like that.
No, I'm not funny. It's fun. But now you can see what they want to do is they are on the far side of this zone. They're not really sure where players are, but they're actually, if you look in the bottom right-hand side, there's about 3 duos in between them and the zone. So they're gonna opt for an early launch pad, but they're so far away. It's not really gonna.
Bro, María es spam Macuse.
Maybe getting a 50-50,
Qué cabrón el Javi. Gente, dejar un licazo, va. Todos a dejar un licazo. Ninja. El ninja lleva 0 kills, tú. Ah. Y el reverse. Macuse, dice Javi que si le haces spam. ¿Se lo haces o qué? LOL, esta partida está llena de pros. Mira, el Liquid Chap, el Ghost Beetle, el Liquid Poach, el Ninja, el Reverse. Madre, madre.
There is just so many high-profile players that we have seen. And now look, like you said, man, now they have to learn things like the slurp, right? I completely agree. They probably should have used the rift, but like it's better to use it than lose it, you know?
As long as they had enough to get themselves back up, not losing the effective HP, like, they're going to be fine. They have a good side of the zone. It's worth holding the material for there. It's just, you get a critical mass point, right? Like, if Ninja gets one more headshot on him, somebody's going to pour a stick grenade at him, or they're going to spend more resources. As now he's trying to fight Chap.
LOL, qué aim tiene Ninja, tío. Qué aim tiene Ninja, LOL. Hermano. Que le haga 20 hecho, tío, no se ha muerto. Al Liquid Chat. Al Liquid Poach. Qué bueno es el Ninja, tú. Es bueno, es bueno. Mira, mira, mira. Tiene cosillas para rotar. Nice, nice. El ninja está bien, ¿eh? Lo único malo que le pondría yo son los materiales, loco. Que tiene 109. Mira, 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 mira. El M que tiene. No para de dar headshot. Ah, no, tenían 1000 materiales. Vale, vale, hostia, pues va bien entonces. Mira, haciéndole WK a uno. Muerto. Qué grande, tío. Va bien el ninja y el reverse, ¿eh? Esta partida se la sacan ellos, tú. Esta partida se la sacan ellos 100%, chavales. Makuse sigue aquí, bro. ¿Sigues aquí o qué, Makuse? No creo que siga aquí, la verdad.
Now he's going to start rotating the rift. Perfect. Yes, I love this.
¿Qué es WK? Es estar haciéndole rush a un pavo. Como o sea, lo que ha hecho Ninja, ¿sabes? Imagínate, este está en un cubo, ¿no? Y viene uno y le rompe la pared y se la hace suya. WK. Como un rusheito, ¿sabes? Un rusheo. WK se llama. WK. K-E-Y. WK. Este pavo está jodido de más. ¿El ninja ha muerto, chavales? ¿El ninja ha muerto? ¿O sigue vivo? No me he enterado si sigue vivo o ha muerto Ninja, tío. Ojalá siga vivo, loco. Quiero que la gane Ninja con su dúo, tío. Con el reverse. Sí. What the fuck. Siguen vivo y tienen hike. GG. Esta partida la gana Ninja y reverse. 100%. Estoy con ellos. Es buena, reverse. ¡Vamos! Nice. 54 puntos han hecho. Nice. Qué pro el reverse, O sea, el reverse también es un otaku. El reverse es un otaku, tú. Como Ninja.
Back into contention. Let's throw it back in the studio to Bala, because I am way too excited right now.
Hey, we're all excited, Sundown. What a crazy game. I mean, we already knew that 72 Hours and Vivid were in contention, but
es una locura,
two more teams adding their names to the list of people
¿juegas?
for that spot.
Ok. Ahora juego, Javi. Qué otaku. Ya ves, tío. Un otaku. Gente, voy a jugar con Javier Extreme. Voy a finalizar stream, ¿vale? He hecho como doble stream hoy, o triple. No sé la verdad cuántos he hecho hoy. Muchas gracias por haberos pasado hasta aquí la World Cup, ¿vale? Espero que hayáis disfrutado. ¿Cuánto estaba en directo? A ver, ¿cuánto estaba en directo? 53 minutos. Bueno, nada mal. No deja la World Cup. No, deja la World Cup, please. Es que igualmente no hay nadie en directo y me apetece jugar, la verdad. Gente, muchas gracias por haberos pasado. Un besazo a todos. Muchísimas gracias. Os espero mañana con doble directito. Como siempre, a la misma hora, que es de 7 a 9. De 7 a 9, hora española, y de 12 a 2, ¿vale? Son 2 horitas en cada directito Y bueno, muchas gracias por haberos pasado. Un besazo, un abrazo y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao, chao.